Hello everyone, my name is Palak Marwah and I am an educator with Unacademy. Today I am going to talk to you about how do you choose your stream after class 10th. A lot of you seem very confused on what should I do if I want to do IIT JEE. Should I join a Cbse school? Should I join a state board school? And this confusion is very natural. Let me quickly introduce myself. I did my engineering from NIT Nagpur in metallurgy and material science, so I did a BTech. Then I joined IIM Bangalore for an MBA as a fresher, and now I work with PNG. When I was at your stage, I had the same confusion. Should I join Cbse or should I join state board? I was also hoping to do IIT JEE and I wanted to pursue engineering. So I had the same confusion. Today, I am trying to make sure that you make an informed choice and it's easier for you to decide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in front of you a lot of points, a lot of data, a lot of criteria that you should look at before you make this choice. Trust me, this is the starting of the tough choices that you will make and also the starting of the most important choices for your career. So hold on and look on to all the different criteria that we talk about. So let us start with the first point. When you want to make this choice, the first thing that you need to think about is what is your goal? What do you want to do in your career? When you've already decided you want to pursue engineering, there are still many goals that you need to think about. The first one is, do you want to do IIT JEE? Do you want to go to IITs, NITs, BITS, state government colleges or private colleges, for example, Manipal and other colleges which have different entrances? This is the first step. Once you decide this, you have to go on to the second step, which helps you understand what is the criteria for these colleges. How does IIT take admissions? How many seats are there? How many IITs are there? What all branches are there in those IITs? Second, you have to do this for all the different colleges that are on your target or on your goal list. You have to decide what is the criteria of admission for these colleges. Do you fit into that criteria? What all preparation is needed to fit into that criteria? So this is your step number 2. Now moving on to the third step. The third step is, what kind of preparation do you need to meet these criteria? For example, it is very simple that you need to give IIT mains and advanced for taking admission into IITs or NITs. Very simple, very clear. Your goal and target is very, very specific here, right? Moving on to other colleges. For example, your aim is BITS. You have to give BITSAT. Your aim can also be any other state government colleges, where it becomes very important for you to understand what entrance exams they take, what criteria they have while making the selection. So this is your step number 3. Now the fourth step. The fourth step is, how much preparation do you need for these particular entrance exams, these particular colleges? What is important for you to understand that it depends on where you are in your preparation stage. Some people who have already started preparing foundation of IIT JEE, say in class 9th and 10th, for them the story is very different. For somebody who's starting to prepare in class 11, which is what is the right time to start and there's nothing to be scared of, then the story is slightly different. Then you have to assess what is your current capability. Where do you think you would rank if you were to give an entrance exam with all of your colleagues today? Basis that, you have to decide how much hours of preparation, how much hard work is required for you to meet the goal that you set up in step number 1. Now let us move to the next step of taking this decision of which stream you should take if you are an IIT JEE aspirant. We covered 4 steps already. I hope you've done those steps and you've made those decisions. Coming to the 5th step. The 5th step is talking to people who have taken these specific courses, who have done these courses, who are probably in an IIT or an NIT right now, and what choices they made when they were in class 10. Why this becomes important is because you need to learn from people who have lived through it, instead of listening to people who just have some perspective, but they have not really been there and done that, right? It becomes important that you learn from somebody who has lived through 11th and 12th in state board, who has lived through 11th and 12th in Cbse board, and then joined the college that he or she was targeting. What these people can tell you is, they can tell you the pros of taking that particular board, the cons of taking that particular board, and the tips that you should follow to be successful in that particular board. All these three things are invaluable advice which you cannot get from anyone else. Unfortunately, even your parents cannot help you with this because they have not been there. They have not done that particular course. All they can help you is connect you to the right people, connect you to other seniors of yours who might have made the same decision. So that is your step number 5. Now we move on to step number 6. This step is my favorite because this connects a lot of data together. You might have heard a lot of data on how an XYZ person or a relative of yours chose Cbse and could not make to IIT JEE, or made to IIT JEE only because he chose Cbse. And you will hear a lot of data which is completely opposite of it. That is why it becomes important that you pick your own data. You search for your own data and then you make your choice. The data that I am talking to you about right now is the criteria for cracking these exams that you are aiming at. When you look at IIT JEE, there was a time when I was pursuing IIT JEE when your class 12 marks did not matter in your IIT JEE results and your entrances. As soon as I finished, as soon as I graduated, the rule changed and then the 12th standard marks became really important. But again, the rules have changed and now the 12th standard marks are not important when you are pursuing IIT JEE or when you are making a choice on which particular college to join. This data is extremely important for you. What this helps you understand is what is the real role of class 12? Why is the board so important for me? Does that mean that now there are no value given to my class 12 exams? That is completely incorrect. And I will come up with specific examples that will prove to you that your class 12 marks are really very crucial in your career. But for starters, for the step number 6, you have to understand and check all the data for yourself. Check what all exams you can give and you want to give. Check what all colleges you will be eligible for and how to get admission into those colleges. That, my friends, is step number 6 for you. Now moving to step number 7. All what you have done so far is talking to people, getting some knowledge from the outside world, getting some knowledge from experience holders, and of course gathering some data. Also, you've done a most important task, that is setting a goal for yourself. Which college do you want to join? What rank do you need to be able to join that college? What all criteria need to be met for you to join that college? Now, step number 7 is a little bit of execution. It is a little bit of your habits and your hard work that starts over here. What you need to understand is the timetable of a class 11 or class 12 student. Let me break it up for you and share my own example. Of course, you have 24 hours a day. Let us assume you spend 12 hours of those 24 hours with your sleep or with any other daily routine activities that you would need. Now, you're left with just 12 hours, right? Out of those 12 hours, you have to decide how you want to spend it. There are cases when people need to go to school, especially in Cbse, class 11th and 12th or junior college. In that case, 5 hours of yours are gone into that particular thing itself. So, you're now left with very little time. When we compare this with state board, you have only 12 hours of sleep and then you have 12 hours left for you to study. Net, when you start class 11, you have to start with your own self-study of at least 3 to 4 hours a day. Now you can do the maths, right? With Cbse, of course, it's a tough choice. Of course, you need to take out 4 hours of the remaining 6 hours that you have after school and after your tuitions. That is slightly difficult. I understand, but hold on till the end of the video before you make your choice. I'm going to give you all the reasons and then you should make your choice. Now, for state board students or for students in those Cbse schools or colleges where you do not need to attend the schools or colleges, you are left with 12 hours of which you have to study for 4 to 6 hours. Now, while the choice seems very simple, while the choice seems very logical that you have more time to study in state board, let me tell you a few more criteria. For now, for step number 7, make sure you have decided what is the discipline or what is the timetable that a class 11th and 12th student needs to follow when that particular person joins Cbse or state board. Up till here, just to quickly revise, you have seen and you have thought about your goal, about the college that you want to go to, the admission criteria and rank that you will need for that particular college. You have spoken to your seniors who have been through state board or Cbse board. You have also spoken to people who are in those colleges, who live the lives that you want to live someday. Also, you have decided what is the kind of timetable that an 11th and 12th standard student has and what is your preference. So, the pre-work or the homework of your choice is now done. The second phase is now finally understanding the criteria that make it so crucial for you to decide which board that you want to go to. Now let's move to step number 8. First and foremost, start evaluating yourself. Start evaluating your personality. Start evaluating your mode of study. Let me give you a simple example. In general, the personalities of a student can be divided into two major criteria or two major categories. Now, these categories are very different, but they are also exhaustive. All the students today fall in one of these two categories. The first category are self-motivated, focused, driven students who can crack any exam, who can crack any timetable, who can be focused, who can achieve all their goals because they have motivation inside themselves. They're self-motivated. They do not need a set of exams to finish revision. They do not need teachers to ensure you finish your assignments. They do not need final exams to focus and ensure that they have finished their portion. These are students who are always very self-motivated and they do not need any external motivation to focus on their studies. There is also a second set of students who need a little bit of external motivation when they have to study. I can proudly say that I am the second type of a student. I would not finish my revision until the last day of the exam. I would not finish my assignments if I never had to submit it tomorrow. That is just how I am, and there is nothing right or wrong between any of these two students. What that helps you understand is what is your personality type, what is your approach to studies. If your approach to studies is the first type when you are self-motivated, you do not need any external pressure. You do not need any external milestones or timelines for you to finish your studies and your syllabus. You are quite suited for the state board. I will come to this in detail and explain it to you why I am saying so. But for now, as for starters, I can say that a self-motivated person can take the maximum benefit of the 12 hours that he has free. Let me give you an example. If you are a self-motivated person who does not need revision or assignments or the discipline from teachers and from school to finish your syllabus, then I'm pretty sure that out of the 12 hours that you had free in the earlier step, you will use at least 8 to 10 hours. What that will enable you to do is to ensure that you finish your full portion, also get ahead of your batch because you're studying harder, working harder, practicing more tests, practicing more papers, practicing more past year questions. That ensures that you will get a better rank and a better college than what you had expected. But all of this is true only and only if you are a self-motivated student. On the contrary, let us come to the second category of students. If you are like me, who needs tests, assignments, deadlines, discipline from teachers and school to finish your work, and if I were to give you 12 hours, I would just relax, probably read a few books, probably watch a few movies and relax with my family, then state board is not very well suited for you. Let me give you an example. If today you tell me that Palak, you have 2 years, every day, for 2 years, I will give you 12 hours free for a day. I am sure I would not end up studying more than 3 to 4 hours because the remaining hours I would not be motivated enough. That is how I am, and that is how most people can be. There is nothing wrong about it. But because you do not have that motivation inside of yourself, you need somebody externally to give you that motivation. That is exactly why students of the second type, students like me, need to be in a Cbse school or in a state board school wherein you have the right kind of discipline. Now, my experience tells me that most state board schools are actually not very particular about attendance and they do not have the kind of discipline. Hence, Cbse schools are best suited for the second type of students that we just spoke about. Now that you have understood which personality type fits for which particular board, let me take a more specific example. Let me spin the story around and tell you that state board is fit for which kind of personality of students. State board is perfect for a student who is self-motivated, who is focused on the goal, who is very clear about their own goal and the hard work that they need to achieve that particular goal. And also, most importantly, if given more time to study, if given more hard work and more focus, they will be able to ensure that they have a better result. State board is specifically best for you all. This ensures that you have the right resources, the right time, and the right focus that you need to get into a particular college. Now, let me mention one very specific thing that most of us forget. This specific thing is about the fact that you need to give your board exams. No matter state board or Cbse that you choose, you have to give your board exams. So let us come to the advantages of being in a Cbse school. A Cbse school with specific attendance and academics makes sure that you have every syllabus covered in a structured manner. If you compare the way the institutes today start teaching IIT JEE and the way the school starts teaching your syllabus, you will see a very big difference. What that means is IIT JEE institutes first start with those concepts which have the highest weightage or which are questions which have come the most often in the previous years. However, Cbse schools and NCERT textbooks start in such a manner that you ease into the syllabus of 11th and 12th. Let me tell you a very big fact that most people will not tell you ever. Class 11th is the toughest year I have had in school. The gap between class 10th and class 11th is so huge. The concepts are completely new that the first 3 months are absolutely difficult. Trust me, I had a tough time too. What that effectively means is you need to ease into the syllabus. You cannot jump from option A or syllabus point A to similarly a syllabus point Z without understanding the full alphabet. What that effectively means is you cannot go from a level 1 of difficulty to directly level 10. JEE coaching classes might have to do this because they have the pressure of getting the best ranks out of you. That is why a school or an NCERT syllabus eases you in and takes you through the difficulty levels. That is the first advantage of joining a Cbse school. The second advantage is because of test series, assignments, practical exams, daily classes, and final exams, it becomes very specific on how you will prepare. You know very clearly that the first chapter of physics has to be done in the first month because you have a test coming up. This ensures that your revision happens in line, that you are also prepared for an exam any day, any time. This is very different from a state board. In state board, mostly you only have to attend the college or attend the school only when you have practicals. Many students go to their state board college only 2 times in 2 years. Once when they have to give class 11th exams and second time when they have to give class 12th exams. What that does is it leaves completely in your hands when will you cover what syllabus and in what particular time duration. That is quite risky if you are like me who needs external motivation. Hence, what we learn from this is that Cbse schools have 2 major advantages. But there are a few more. The third advantage is because you keep giving tests, because you keep writing assignments, because you attend classes daily, your theoretical background and basics are very, very strong. As you know, class 12 JEE also has class 11th syllabus and it becomes extremely difficult for people to crack JEE in state board if for 2 years they do not study in a focused manner. That is why Cbse really helps you. Because you have given test series in class 11, you've given your final exams and half-yearly exams in class 11, you are now completely aware of the basics. This is the third advantage. Coming to the fourth advantage, you know how to write theory papers. No matter which board you take, Cbse or state board, your 12th standard board exams are going to be theory papers. They are not going to be MCQ kind of questions. Hence, you need to be in the habit of being able to write these theory papers. Unfortunately, because you do not attend school and college in state board, you have absolutely no practice of sitting for 3 hours and writing a theory paper. Trust me when I say this, I have been there. The way of answering a theory paper is very, very different from answering an MCQ type of paper in IIT and other entrance exams. Hence, as you can see, CBSE has amazing 4 benefits which I just spoke to you about. Now, let us look at a state board curriculum or the way the state board classes are run. As I already shared, the only time people attend the school or go to their colleges is to give their final exams. The disadvantage of this fact is students are completely out of touch of writing a theory paper, of writing a prose exam, of writing the full derivation in physics, of solving the full equation of a chemical reaction. What that effectively means is when they go and appear for their state board exams, they do not perform as well. This effectively means their scoring is low because they are out of practice. That is the first reason why most people in state board score lower marks than most people in CBSE board. Don't take my word on this. As I said in step number 2, go ahead, talk to people who have graduated from CBSE board, talk to people who have graduated from state board. Because I graduated with my batch, I could clearly see this gap. I could clearly see how students in state board did not score as well as students in CBSE board because they were completely out of practice. The last time they wrote a prose paper, a theory paper, was 2 years ago when they were in class 10th. And trust me, 2 years is a long time, and once you forget and once you do not have that habit of writing in a structured manner, of writing long answers, of solving the full derivation, because no question in JEE has ever had a full derivation, trust me, it's a very, very hard task to score in state board. So that's the first reason why scoring in state board is lower than CBSE. But that is not all. There is one more reason. When you look at state board scoring in general versus the CBSE board, I'm sure you would agree that CBSE is a more scoring format of boards. Now, you can look at class 10th also as reference. The city topper or the state topper in class 10th or class 12th for CBSE will always have higher marks versus the state topper of class 12th. That is just the way the boards are structured. That is just the way their correction pattern, examination pattern is structured. Of course, there is nothing right and wrong or good or bad saying that one board is good and the other is not so good. But it is just the way they are structured. That effectively means that because of these 2 reasons, there is a higher chance for you to have a lower score in class 12 in state board versus the CBSE board. I hope now you understand that your probability of scoring better in class 12 is better when you join a CBSE board rather than a state board. So that brings me to the next question. JEE does not include my class 12 marks. Why should I worry so much about my class 12 marks? I have a very good example for that. For that, let me first start with my own experience. My score in class 12 in CBSE was 97.2% in science stream. I was the Vidarbha topper and All India rank 4 in CBSE class 12. What that enabled me to do is, of course, have a great profile. Today, there is not a single weak link in my profile. Nobody can pull me up and say, hey, you did not score well in class 10th or in class 12th. Also, when I was applying for my postgraduate, for my MBA, I was able to get an admission at IIM Bangalore with a not so great percentile only because I had the percentage of 10th and 12th really great and in my favor. Most postgraduate exams take into consideration your class 10th and your class 12th marks. Most parents and students do not know about this and they do not hear about this from most of their guides and mentors. Why is it so important? Because when you are at that stage that you are applying for masters or postgraduate, you will note one thing. You cannot go back and change your class 12 marks. Hence, class 12 and class 10 marks are very, very crucial for you no matter what postgraduate you want to do. You want to do it in India or you want to do it abroad. That is the first reason why I say your class 12 exams are very important. Your class 12 scores are very important. Taking an example of the other side, I know somebody who did really well in 10th, joined state board because she was very self-motivated and she could study on her own. She was the first category of students that we spoke about. However, because she was not just in the habit of writing a theory paper, she could not get good enough marks in state board. She had 75% in state board class 12. Then, even after being from one of the top IITs, she was not able to get a very good college for her post-graduation, even though she cracked the next entrance exam as well. The reason? Again, the same thing. Your class 12 exams matter a lot. Now, she is in a position where she cannot go back and change it, and she can do nothing about it because just the criteria of most postgraduate colleges actually include your class 10th and class 12 marks. That is one more reason why your class 12 marks are extremely important for you. Now, if I can just summarize and help you make this decision the same way I made this decision. Sharing a personal example, my elder brother was very self-motivated, very active, very passionate about his own studies. But he needed the discipline to finish things in time. While he was self-motivated, he wanted to have a timetable in which he had to finish a particular chapter because he would go so much in depth of that particular chapter that he would keep on revising it and not move on to the next one. That is the reason why my mother chose to put him in a Cbse school in 11th and 12th. In my case, the case was slightly different, but I was not self-motivated at all. I would take everything at leisure and I would easily make sure that I do not use my full time. That is why my mother put me in a Cbse school. Now, my brother is pursuing his PhD at Texas A&M University in biotechnology and I finished my MBA from IIM Bangalore. You can see how different both of us are, but the reason why we chose Cbse schools was also very, very specific. It was very typical to our personality types. So, let us try to summarize what we learned today so that you can make an informed choice. As I mentioned in the start, this is the starting of your tough choices and this is the starting of the most crucial choices as well. So, let us just summarize. First, select your college and your goal. Second, identify the criteria that is needed for that college and goal. Third, talk to people who have been through it, done that, lived that and ask them for do's and don'ts and for most importantly the tips for you to crack it. Fourth, create a plan. How will you crack it? When will you crack it? What all do you need to study? Fifth, focus on what personality type you are. Are you self-motivated? Are you passionate? Or you need external motivation like I do? Then decide what kind of a timetable or a daily life you will be living for next 2 years if you choose a Cbse board or a state board. Post that, think a little bit about all the points I mentioned. Talk to people if they agree with the pros and cons I mentioned of Cbse board and state board. I'm sure most of these people who you talk to will agree with me. But still, have a look. Talk to more people. The more people you talk to, the more clear you become about your choice. Next, collect data. What rank do you need? What marks do you need? Will you be able to crack that with Cbse? Do you need external motivation? Or you're able to do it on your own? Then, lastly, make the choice along with your parents and then move on to have a very hardworking and focused 2 years. Trust me, these 2 years are very crucial. Which brings me to the last point. Please talk to a few people who will help you understand the importance of class 12. Right now, it might seem as a very logical choice that you will have 12 hours free every day if you join state board. Of course, you should be able to study 7 to 8 hours. But when it is a 2-year long period, it is not that easy. Most importantly, you need to talk to people to understand where they went wrong if they chose a particular board over the other or where they went right. Also, you need to talk to people to understand the importance of class 12. I just shared with you 3 life experiences of mine. Please feel free to talk to a lot of more people. Talk to a lot of others who have chosen different fields of life and what they are doing today. This will give you a lot of clarity on what you should do when you make this specific choice. Trust me, this choice is life-changing and you will be able to do nothing to change your class 12 marks. I cannot emphasize this enough that your class 12 marks are extremely important. Also, if you have any further questions, if you want to reach out to me and talk about something, if you need any mentorship, you can contact me via WhatsApp. I'm going to leave the link of a WhatsApp group in the comment section so you can join that. And of course, you can reach out to me. Also, I have a lot of lectures on Unacademy, so you should look up Unacademy profile of mine, and you should be able to get a lot of lectures. I also take some special classes there, so please make sure you follow me on Unacademy and also listen to a lot of lectures. I hope you will follow the upcoming videos because I have around 10 more videos which I will publish, and I need your help to understand what topics you're looking for. Comment on this video so that I can estimate what topic is the most burning topic that people need to hear from.